Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Friday night. It's Friday, November the 4th, 2022. So, yeah, I've had an okay day. Picked up the kids, got the kids this evening. They're teenagers, though. They're in the house doing their own thing on their phones. So I thought I'd jump out here and do a quick recording. Yeah. So I was just looking through one of my channels, one of my signal channels, and one of the guys mentioned the Y files, WHY files, which I think is probably sort of a play on the old X files, but with the X, and then this guy's Y, WHY, which, you know, in his videos they go and explain different phenomena and topics, everything from supernatural stuff to UFOs to government conspiracy and everything else, and it's just a good lighthearted channel. I should pull it up here. Really, really good. Wrong browser. Hold on. Go to my Brave browser. YouTube. Y files. Yep, so you can see I'm subscribed. So he did one the other night that was good on the Dulce base, like the alien wars. That's an old story. I think he sort of opened it, that probably not many people have heard about it. Everybody's heard of Area 51, but not everybody's heard about Dulce. You know, Area 51 is sort of where humans experiment on aliens, and Dulce is where aliens experiment on humans, but along with government stuff. So he has good stuff. So he did one on the Bible code this past week, which, you know, is sort of interesting. But, you know, the thing I like about this Y-Files guy is he sort of opens it up. He sort of opens up his videos with what everybody's heard, you know, and they go into what everybody's heard. Then he'll go into some things sort of reinforcing what everybody's heard about a certain topic, but then he also does his best to actually do a deep dive on it, research it, and figure out not ways necessarily to debunk things, but he gives the other side. He gives, you know, he tries to be very fair, and I don't want to use the Fox News fair and balanced, but he tries to keep a good balance to his videos. He doesn't get all, you know, what's the way to, I guess it's sort of a fair and balanced approach to the topics he discusses. Some of those were pretty good, and it was, you know, like, for example, the man who discovered a lost ancient city in his basement. That's not a conspiracy at all. Literally, a guy like in Turkey was like in his basement renovating or whatever, broke through one of the walls into an underground tunnel system, which is, you know, goes back very, very far. I don't even know if they knew or had much information on the exact culture who created those, but they're a massive underground system that has been there for like a long time, like thousands of years or whatever. So that's just a normal sort of geological, archaeological type thing. Dyatlov Pass, that's an interesting one. Let's see, computer predicts the end of the world, but here's what they don't tell you. Secret, okay, that's not him. Project Stargate, what's on Mars? Stargate CI, you know, and again, some of it's sensational, some of it's not. Moon revealed it's a hollow ship, but who built it and why? Yeah, and he really brings, again, you know, on both sides. Let me try to explain it the best I can, I guess, how I feel about his videos. He puts out the story that everybody knows, that everybody's heard about and everything. Then he deep dives even deeper than most of the people who believe in it. He goes even deeper than that and really gets to the source of the conspiracy. But then he sort of pulls it back, and then he sort of goes to the other side. And if there's certain points that can be debunked, if there's certain parts of it that can be, he'll do his best to to explain those things, but it's, he's not forcing you into one side or the other. He's just sort of like listen to what the evidence is and make your own decision, an opinion, have your own opinion on it. So that's what I like so much about him. He's not forcing anything, but then there are some that are completely debunkable. I think this John Titor, time traveler, soldier, savior, he came from the future. I think that one's pretty much, I think, was debunked. I think because it came from like a short story and sort of like War of the Worlds, people sort of believed it back in those old days at the time, and it sort of became the truth, but it wasn't. It came from an older publication, which most people don't know about or whatever. So, yep. So there's a ton of them. Operation High Jump, Valiant Thor is a good one. And being lost in the back rooms, that's one of my favorite. The whole liminal spaces, the spaces in between, places where people go but they're not meant to stay, places of what's the word? Sort of passing through a threshold between one place and another. Liminal spaces that's a whole podcast in itself. If I can get some notes together and do one on that, that's a very, very cool topic. And a lot of people just post videos of like empty places. Like, for example, like I mentioned, I worked at a hospital. I worked at a hospital for a couple weeks, and down in the basement of the hospital there's like a big long hallway that it's directly below. There's no office. Well, I think there's a supply office down there, or logistics or something. People pass through it going from like the cafeteria to like the dumpster outside. It's not a place where people stay. It's like it's a threshold between one place and another. But there's all these operating room beds and stuff that are brought down there, soiled beds, and I guess they're waiting to be cleaned or sanitized, or the sheets, the bloody sheets or whatever, waiting to be taken to biohazard or picked up by a environmental waste disposal company. So they're just it's sort of a creepy long, it's not lit up like the rest of the hospital. It's just sort of a creepy long. I wish I would have taken a picture of it, but while I was there, but I did take a picture of another one. I'll have to insert that here, but yeah, it's just, it's so creepy, those liminal spaces in between. Half the time you don't even think about them when you're passing through them, like a shortcut through an airport that most people don't take, or if you're walking through a town and you take a little path that goes under a bridge, and through some woods, and there's like nobody out there except maybe a person looking at birds or a drug addict shooting up in the bushes or something. You never know these days, but yeah. So my cousin just messaged me. I guess she's referring me to an associate of hers for website stuff, because that's what I do. So yeah, appreciate that. She passed my name on and sent me a screenshot of her friend. So I'll hope to hear from her, and if I don't, then I'll message that person. So thank you, cousin. But other than that, I don't have any specific topics to talk about. I talked to Waza earlier, and as I mentioned in one of my previous casts, that I'm sort of getting back to the roots of the cast. I mean, we were going through a phase where I was bringing him and the Alex fella on and stuff, but there was some. It was difficult, like I mentioned the other night, sort of difficult to get everybody in the same place at the same time and on the same page, and organize the cast in a efficient manner and everything. It was just, in my mind, it was just sort of too much to sort of figure out ahead of time. So my idea was pretty much to get back to the roots of my casting here and on this channel. Even before I was called DC Entropy, when it was just me, like I am here in the garage, just popping on here at a random time on a random topic. And that's what I prefer to do, is just sort of be random, spontaneous. and just let the flow of thoughts just come out organically. So, yeah. So everybody needs to check out this Y-Files guy, though. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description below. But then, like I said, I talked to Waza, and he's still hyped about getting into casting and everything. But because I've been going through a bit of a phase here of disorganization, he's going to continue doing it on his own, and I'm happy he's doing that. And I told him tonight, even at the very least, we can still, I can come on to yours occasionally. You can come back on here anytime, and we can still do this. Actually, I'll probably be seeing him not this weekend, but next. So we'll probably do a live stream from either from here in my studio, or I'll take the equipment up to where he's staying here in my area at an Airbnb, and we'll set it up and maybe do a live one and just talk about whatever. So I thought, again, after sort of pulling back from the whole structured idea, I think just doing them organically would be the best way forward for me to continue doing these podcasts. So, like I said, a friend just mentioned this Y-Files, and I'm just like, hey, let me pop on here and talk about with the Y-Files. I'll probably get a little bit more structured in my own casts on topics. Okay, that's my goal now, personally. Now that I think about it, that's sort of my goal, is be random, but still have a little bit of structure on my own talking points. Maybe have like a handful of talking points about a specific topic, talk about those points one by one, and have a little bit of structure, but still keep it sort of casual and everything. Don't go all crazy and so on. Yep. So, yeah, not going to play. I'll get copyright strikes. So, this stupid sound's built into the board. Need to get some new ones in there. I guess I'm going on about 13 minutes. I'm not going to stay in here very long, but I'll put the description in here. Check out those liminal spaces, lost in the back rooms, reality in between. I mean, that gets a little deeper, more than just long hallways and creepy places. The liminal back rooms, it's like falling out of reality into like an alternate dimension of a place that sort of never ends, and you never run across anybody else. You might find the remains of something or the remains of where somebody's been, but you never really see anybody else in these back rooms and these liminal spaces. So, yeah. Okay, well, I guess that will do it for tonight. Well, I might pop in here in a little bit and maybe do another one on another topic, but that'll be all for this one. So everybody have a good early Friday night. Well, early for me, 10:25 now. So, and peace out.